Namaste viewers, welcome to Gnana channel. Today in this session we'll go through the Cārvāka Mata. There were two variants in this. One is called as Dhūrta Cārvāka. The other one was Lokāyata Cārvāka. Cārvāka means denial of the existence of God, denial of existence of rebirth, all those kinds of things. Now, we will go through this Dhūrta Cārvāka. As the name suggests, Dhūrta means it is very intently not very conducive like that. Against, we can say that. This is a kind of a radical atheistic interpretation, more of a atheistic, radicalized atheistic interpretation. We'll go through some of the aspects of this Dhūrta Cārvāka branch. This represents a more extreme and radical form of the Cārvāka or Lokāyata, radicalized philosophy. The mainstream Lokāyata, which emphasized materialism, already emphasized materialism and skepticism of spiritual ideas, like Veda, that, this Yagna, Yaga, this Puja, all those things. It supported materialism. It supported happiness, which one would derive from materialistic comforts. And then it remained there was some kind of a limit to that. But Dhūrta Cārvāka took these ideas even further, challenging not only just the existence of God and the soul, and also the very ethics and principles upheld by the traditional society. They challenged everything: existence of God, ethics, principles, all those things. It was more like a jungle Raj, like that. So, some of the key characteristics of Dhūrta Cārvāka were intensified atheism, we can call that. While Lokāyata rejected the existence of God and the soul, Dhūrta Cārvāka vehemently opposed any notion of divinity or higher powers. They totally opposed it. They ridiculed religious practices and institutions and ridiculed them as tools of manipulation. They said these things were manipulated. Now, they started bluntly criticism of ethics. Dhūrta Cārvākas viewed traditional, some of the moral codes which were there, as constructs, as framed, designed to control human behavior. They went to the extent of saying that these are all unnecessary things which they have imposed on the society to control them. They also argued that actions should be based on individual desires and pleasures, and they started dismissing this concepts like sin, virtue, karma, all those things. They said there's nothing like sin, there's nothing like virtue, there's nothing, all those things. They dismissed all these things, Dhūrta Cārvākas. And one more thing happened was that rejection of the societal norms also. This philosophy, Dhūrta Cārvākas, often criticized social hierarchies, rituals and laws as being arbitrary and oppressive. They went to this extent. They advocated for a life free from societal bondages, free from societal expectations, free from anything from the society, no bondage with the society. The focus was only on personal freedom, solely on personal freedom and solely on personal happiness. So the view on religion was very cynical. Dhūrta Cārvākas claimed that religious texts, whatever that was written, the religious texts, were created by a section of people, be it priests or be it sannyasis or whoever it is. It was all written and created to exploit people for wealth and then for gaining wealth and gaining power over the society. So they started mocking the concept of divine rewards, like papa, punya. You do some good things in this life, you will be elevated in the. You will go to heaven. You will be elevated there. You will all those kinds of things, rewards. And if you do some wrong things, you will be punished. So they marked on these concepts of divine rewards and punishments. They asserted that these ideas were used so that they could instill fear and obedience in this society to a section of people, something like this. This was the cynical view of the religion. So, from the historical context also, Dhūrta Cārvākas likely emerged as a intense reaction to the rigidity and dogmatism of religious orthodoxy in ancient India. Perhaps this would be one of the reasons. We don't know. While mainstream Lokāyata of Cārvāka, it had some level of acceptance. Dhūrta Cārvāka was often dismissed or vilified due to its extreme and controversial views. So, many critics, labeled this Dhūrta Cārvākas, as the name itself suggests, Dhūrta means very bad and then very not a wise man or very bad tasted philosophy. These critics labeled it as immoral, anarchic, leading to its decline over time. Because it had its own, it became more and more selfish than, more selfish at the cost of society, more selfish at the cost of another person. It would go to any extent. It was like a jungle Raj. It could eliminate the other person for the sake of his comforts. That could be this thing. So this, all these things, led for its decline. So some of the critics and legacy are like this. It's an unethical philosophy. All other schools, criticize Dhūrta Cārvāka for promoting selfishness, ignoring the importance of compassion, ignoring the importance of societal harmony, ignoring the neighborhood, ignoring the living together. Like, Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, Samasta Sadmangalana Bhavantu, all those kinds of thoughts, let everybody be happy, these kinds of thoughts were not there much. Individual happiness, pursuit of individual happiness at the cost of anything, at the cost of everything, at the cost of others. That was the extent it went up to, Dhūrta Cārvāka. And Dhūrta Cārvāka was seen as a overly destructive, offering no positive framework for living or community building. This was not there. Of course, despite its controversial nature, Dhūrta Cārvāka contributed to intellectual diversity in Indian philosophy. Some people say we don't know how far it is, but they say that intellectual diversity was also, it contributed to this kind of, these thoughts contributed. It it pushed the boundaries for questioning. He questioned the authority and encouraging critical thinking, even if its methods were extreme methods also. Even if they were very extreme, it started questioning everything. So now, if you look at the relevance for this day, Dhūrta Cārvāka's radical atheism resonates with modern debates about religion, morality, and individual freedom. It serves as a reminder to question established norms, but also highlights the need for balance between personal desires and the collective well-being, all these things. So viewers, with these thoughts and with this explanation on this Dhūrta Cārvāka, the radicalized atheistic philosophy, we conclude this video. We request you to please like, share, and then subscribe to our channel. Please post your comments on the comment box for those things. And then for the benefit of the readers, we have put all these things in the description box. Thank you viewers for your valuable time. Thank you.